Patch 2.4b. You want to know all the details? Then definitely stay tuned because we are going to review the patch notes right here. Hey, what's up guys? Darkbreaker here for today's video. This is gonna be the in-depth explanation of the patch 2.4b, which just came out. In this new patch, they are gonna release the new champion brand, a very strong AP champion. So let's read it out. Brand, the Burning Vengeance. Once a tribesman of Icy Frylord named Kennen Roth. Do you guys actually care about the lore? Like, usually I don't really care about the lore. Yeah, they are coming out. Nunu and Brand are coming out on the 9th September. Gonna make a guide for those two champions. So if you guys don't want to miss those guides out, then make sure to subscribe and activate notifications. And if you guys gonna like the patch review I'm gonna do, then also like the video if you guys have enjoyed this video or will enjoy this video. And basically, Brand is a very strong mage champion with a lot of CC. Like, he can do so much AoE damage and stun people, but in-depth explanation will come when the champion is gonna get released. Nunu is gonna be a pretty solid AP jungler. Since Wildrop lacks AP junglers, Nunu will be a great addition. He can be played tanky or hybrid or full AP, so we'll see how the scalings are, how the stats are, but I would say Nunu in the jungle gonna be pretty good. So exciting to see. If you guys are hyped about those two champions, then leave down your reaction in the comments. Okay, new skins are coming out tonight or today. It's Wukong skin, Galio skin, and Popstar Ari. Wow, okay. And on 9th, Brand skins and Nunu skins are gonna get released as well. Accessories. You can earn or purchase accessories from a bunch of different sources. Please check the relevant page in game for more information on how to get them. Okay, you have new... Okay, this is nice. I don't care about those. You get 2 new icons. You get these. Don't care about them. You get new emojis. That's nice. He's yawning. He's... What is Brand doing? He's like, look at me, I'm Mr. Fire and Handsome. Okay. Okay, events. Frost and Flame event. 2 Sons of Frylord, 1 who befriended a monster and 1 who became a monster himself. 2 powerful elements. The first is used to create, the second to destroy. Complete daily missions to earn tokens that can be used in the event shop for sizzling and chilling rewards. Yeah, so let's see how the event is gonna be. The Sentinel event was pretty cool, to be honest. Like, you could get so many blue essence and stuff like that. Pretty cool emote. Event, sorry. Okay, let's get started with the champion changes. First change is gonna be Ari. The 9-tailed fox is getting a small bug fix that will affect her power level slightly, but don't get your tails in a bunch. We don't expect her to need compensation due to some other items being shifted. Foxfire movement speed will now probably decay over time, so it's a bug fix. Yeah, that's what it. But now, Akali, first major change actually. The first game I played on this new patch, Akali. For you guys who are not aware, they released the patch 1 day early and then they backtracked it. But I played a few games and Akali is still very, very powerful. Even though they nerfed her passive, she is still very strong. Trust me, she goes from banned every game to still SSS tier, probably. I mean, she's minimum S tier still. Like, that game, I played Kennen, and Akali goes 12 kills in my team. So still very strong. So for the passive, Assassin's Mark movement speed lowered from 50% to 30%, and base damage 40 to 28 and late game 180 to 140. So a decent nerf on the passive, but all of her other abilities are not nerfed. So what does it mean? The movement speed is gonna hurt her definitely for the early game, and reaching the passive is gonna be harder. So I definitely would prefer fleet footwork in this case. So you have the movement speed from the fleet, so you can easily get easier get the passive instead of Conqueror. But I ran fleet even before this. So I would say Fleet. And I'm gonna release an Akali video pretty soon where I'm gonna talk about the new item path that you should go for, LPL style, or like for this new patch adapted. But I would say Lich Bane with a passive nerf is gonna be weaker than before. You could still run it, but maybe you go for something like Infinity Orb into Death Cap, or Gunblade into Death Cap, so more standard build and no longer hunting Guise, because later on, spoiler alert, hunting Guise is getting nerfed. Akshan, okay, Akshan, this is a big fucking buff for Akshan. Akshan is currently all bark and no bite. Particularly with crit builds, we are bringing up his baseline damage output and giving him some crit scaling to help out his late game. First ability, Avengarang, they buffed it by 5, 10 and 15. So for each level it gets better. I think it doesn't matter. Avengarang doesn't matter. But now the big change. Heroic Swing can crit now for 150%. So the shots can critical strike for 150% damage. This is a huge damage buff for Akshan. And then also the ultimate. New damage per tick is increased by crit chance. Up to 50% at 100% crit. So the more crit chance you have, the more damage increase you will get. And the cap is at 50% when you have 100% crit chance. So 20, 25, 30 plus 12.5% AD plus 1 plus 50% crit rate. So this is a pretty good, I mean, it's gonna be nice, but nothing too special. So basically, the third ability, Insane, you max it for sure now. Before some people would max the first ability maybe, but I would definitely say third ability max and you go for a strong crit build. If you guys want to see Akshan new build, then definitely write it down below. I'm probably gonna cover Akali, Akshan for sure. Gragas. Next, Gragas is causing too much of a ruckus on the Rift, particularly at the highest level of play. We are toning down some of the utility and power that he has and abandons, giving his opponent some windows to play around. Base stats, his armor is getting nerfed from 4.7 to 4.3 per level. So at level 15, it's a 5 armor nerf, which actually doesn't matter at all. Okay, first ability, base damage nerf, which is not bad actually. It's a 15 nerf in the early game, then 10, then 5, and then... Oh yeah, it's just an early game nerf for the base damage. In the late game, it stays the same, and the slow is gonna get reduced by 10 at every rank. And the second ability cooldown got raised by 0.5 seconds. So I would say that's... It's a slight nerf onto Gragas, especially against tank Gragas. So if you don't go for AP, your Q, your first ability is not going to do that much damage. So I definitely would say it's a slight nerf for the tank Gragas, which is very popular and competitive. I mean, in solo queue you still see it, but I wouldn't consider Gragas tank and solo queue that strong. Katarina, do I need to read this text out? Because it's just the HP got nerfed by 80. So, early game nerf for Katarina, so she can get easier punished in the laning phase. So that's basically it. Like, some Katarinas like to play very aggressive, jumping in to harass. But if you have 80 HP less, or for skirmishes at level 3 at the Scuttle, this will definitely hurt Katarina. But yeah, I don't need to read out this text when it's just this, right? Okay, boys? Okay, Kennen. Because I know you guys... Like, you guys will write, oh, can you just give me the note? I don't want you to have a 30-minute video, I just want to read it quickly. So, Kennen, first ability, Thundering Shuriken, base damage buffed by 10 at every rank. It's not gonna matter too much, but, hey, second ability, on-hit bonus damage, 10, wait. It's a 15 base damage buff on the second ability. Then the bonus AD got buffed by 10%, and then at late game 40% difference. So on-hit Kennen might be viable. I actually have a Kennen video coming up soon for you guys as well. Maybe in the morning, because I already played him on the new patch. I tried the on-hit with Blade of the Rune King, but I feel like I'm not a fan of on-hits. You could go ADC Kennen with the Lulu, so you can spam your shurikens quickly and get the stacks. And the on-hit bonus will be crazy, because you can go crit cannon or on-hit cannon. On-hit cannon would be like Blade of the Rune King, Nashor's Tooth, Wit's End, something like that. Or if you go crit with Blade of the Rune King, Rune's Hurricane, maybe Infinity Edge, maybe Chargeblade. So I'm gonna release a hybrid build in the morning. It's gonna be Kennen with Gunblade, because you will max your second ability in the laning phase, and you will harass insanely in the laning phase, maxing your second ability and bullying using Gunblade, having so much AD, because AD scaling is pretty sexy on the second ability now. Also plus 5% AP on the second ability, nothing too major. And then for the Lightning Rush you get 10% more attack speed at all ranks. So they're basically trying to buff on-hit cannon, or should I say maybe even ADC cannon, we'll see. ADC cannon with Lulu, I could see the potential there. Next one, Khazix. Pretty solid nerf. They nerfed the base stats HP regen from 9 to 7.5. The base damage of the first ability by 10 at each level. And then the healing by 15 at each level on the second ability. I would say it's a slight nerf for Khazix in the early game. It's gonna lower his, or increase the jungle clear that he needs for his first rotation. But in general, it's not a major nerf. It's a slight nerf. And his isolation damage is still broken. Like the moment Khazix has like Dustblade and isolation on someone, he does like 40% on the person. So I definitely think they should have nerfed the isolation damage on the evolved first ability. The healing slight nerf doesn't really matter, to be honest. The main issue about Khazix is his mobility and the damage on the isolation first ability. I think that's the biggest issue, why he's so strong. So next nerf is going to be Master Yi. I told you guys Master Yi is super broken. They nerfed the base HP from 115 to 105. Oh, it's health per level. Oh no, Master Yi. Master Yi has been overpowering with the recent buffs, and his synergy with new items like Navari's Quick Blades is too strong. We're pulling back on some of the power he gained from patch 2.4a to ensure the Wuju Blade Master fights fairly. So yeah, HP per level nerfed, which is gonna be a lot in the long run. Wait, there's no way you get that much HP. You get that much HP per level, really? 105 per level. Wuju style bonus true damage nerfed by 25 to 22, 40, 34, 55, 46, 70, 40, 58. So I would say it's a slight nerf on the bonus true damage, and spoiler alert, they also nerfed the Chargeblade. So the amount of true damage Master Yi is gonna do is gonna get reduced by a lot, but I would still say even after the nerfs on Master Yi and the item nerf on Chargeblade, Master Yi will still be a strong pick in solo, especially in solo queue. If the enemies don't have a CC comp and they can't stop you, the moment you have 3 items, you get 1 reset, you still run them down. Ultimate cooldown increased by 5 seconds in the early game, and in the late game by 15 seconds. Actually pretty big nerf on the ultimate in the late game. 15 seconds increased. This is a big nerf actually on the ultimate. Wuju style, yeah. I'm not sure, we will see. I'm actually not sure about the Wuju style and the Chargeblade nerf for your Master Yi. I would still say he is still very strong, just because of the fact the moment he gets 1 kill and he has 3 core items, it's basically the Katarina effect on Master Yi. You just run them down, reset, Q, and I'm not sure. Maybe it will drop him a little bit from OP to like very strong pick still, and he can get punished better in general because he has less HP, so definitely we'll see. Do I think it's a very big nerf? I think the biggest nerf is the ultimate. The true damage is gonna hurt him slightly, but nothing too major. And then obviously in combination with Chargeblade, it's a solid damage nerf. Yeah, we'll see. Next one, Rakan. Okay, this one. Rakan and Saya are truly a power couple in the Dragon Lane. However, the Charmer's third Battle Dance has been providing Saya with too much safety. To reduce frustration around this interaction, we are lowering the bonus shield multiplier on Battle Dance when cast on Saya, and giving Rakan some buffs to keep it in line with other supports. Second ability, the base damage got increased by 10 at each rank. It doesn't really matter, 10 really doesn't matter. Battle Dance, this is big. Bonus shield amount when cast on Saya from 200% to 125%. So if you go AP Rakan in combination with Saya, this is it now, because they basically lower the amount of shield you're giving by almost half. So this is a huge nerf for the Rakan Saya combo, especially for the Rakan AP build. So I don't think people go for the upon AP build anymore. It's a very big nerf. The ultimate movement speed got buffed by 10%, so this is actually pretty nice. So his engages are better, but his synergy with Saya got nerfed. So the OP combo Rakan Saya got nerfed, but in general Rakan with other champions, it's a buff. Soraka, the star child, interfered with too many mortal affairs since her recent buff. Without risking enough, we are tuning her down a bit so she thinks twice about rushing in to save her allies. Star Core first ability. Rejuvenation buff duration on self 4 seconds to 2 seconds. And total heal got nerfed. Wow, this is a big nerf actually. Base nerfed in the early game by 18. This is actually big. And then the scaling also by 10%. So going decap on Soraka is probably kinda int. Especially some Sorakas go decap second item. After Staff of Water, I don't know what's the name again. And decap, I think you don't go that anymore. Or maybe later decap, but not second item. Maybe fourth item. And then second, rejuvenation buff duration for ally 4 seconds to 2. It's a pretty solid nerf on Soraka actually. I haven't even made the video about Soraka before when she was still buffed. It's Batman. Thresh, very big buff for Thresh. While Thresh is a high skill capped champion, his power levels upon release left something to be desired. We are increasing the base soul drop rate and reducing Flay's charge time to compensate for Wild Rift's faster pace and shorter game time. Base stats buffed by 40 HP and base health regen buffed from 7.5 to 11. So it's a solid early game buff. Then for the passive, the base soul drop rate went from 33% to 40%. You guys, the typo here. Reported Riot. I'm just kidding. Bad luck protection unchanged. Dark Passage. The shield amount got buffed by 10 in the early game, 5 at second rank, and then late game actually a 5 nerf. Flay. The passive charge time, so the enhanced bonus magic damage from the Flay, is reduced from 10 seconds to 6 seconds. So basically they buffed the early game of Thresh a lot, so he can be he can be stronger in the early game and bully people harder using his Flay for harassment. Not bad. Is it a big buff? We'll see. I would say it makes him more strong, and he was definitely already S tier in the right hands. So getting Thresh buff before the LAN events is gonna be pretty juicy, because all the competitive support players will play Thresh. So it makes sense that they're gonna buff Thresh before the playoff in Europe, the playoff in A, the LPL qualifiers. So it's gonna be very interesting, and I think the Latam is already over or almost over. And now Wukong. Wukong basically 100% healing on minions now, before it was 80%, so a slight healing buff for Wukong. And for Xin Zhao, they nerfed the base armor by 5 and the base HP by 40. I think Doom got nerfed right there. Unlucky Doom. FF. Go surrender now. Doom is not gonna 1 vs 9 anymore, right? Just kidding. Aram changes. We don't play Aram, it doesn't matter. We probably don't even find an Aram. Anyways, now the item changes. Solari Chargeblade. While true damage was exciting, it meant that Chargeblade was too universal in killing tanks. Too broken. Fighters and squishies alike, we are shocked. I mean, I also used it on every bruiser, on Riven, on every fucking champion. Yeah, Chargeblade broken. We are sharpening it to be less optimal in the general situation and more optimal when the enemy team has a lot of squishier targets to burst down. Ability haste 25 to 15, pretty solid nerf on the ability haste part. Base damage, instead of true damage, only magic damage. And yeah, that's it. I mean, the stats are almost the same damage wise. It's just yeah, instead of 2 damage, magic damage. I would say that's a pretty big nerf, just because the ability haste was broken. Like Solari's Chargeblade, you get crit chance. The passive of getting crit is broken. Ability haste. This item was so good for every champion. Is it still viable? Yeah, it's still good, because you get, every time you use an ability, you get plus 25 crit chance. So yeah, it's still very good, but definitely tuned down so it's less broken. For example, on Vayne true damage, Wits End, Solari Chargeblade. Oh no, too broken. I mean, almost every ADC used Chargeblade, and it was very broken. Varmok's Armor. Following the lead of our PC friends, we are making Varmok's Armor Unique's passive trigger of bonus health instead of max health. This way, player must opt into other health items to access its power. Varmok's Heart's trigger condition: instead of 2.5 maximum HP, you need to have 950 bonus HP first. So, Varmok's Armor Rush on some champions is not viable anymore. You should buy it later, so you can trigger the passive. So that's what they mean with this. I mean, this is a slight change, which is not going to affect who's building Varmok's Armor. Not that many champions. It's not going to affect many champion, and you can just buy Varmok's Armor later on anyways. Major items. We found a few notable balance opportunities when examining major items. Liandrys Torment is still too prevalent. Offer buy on all AP users and players who rush Ludens Echo or Awaken Soul Stealer have been underperforming heavily compared to rushing other items. Additionally, the traditional users of Liandrys Torment were overperforming by a considerable amount. We hope to balance all this pattern with the following changes to mentioned items. Awaken Soul Stealer AP 65 to 70. No one buys this item, and 5 AP is not gonna matter. But Haunting Guise Madness got changed. Max damage amplification 10% to 6%. A lot of people rush Haunting Guise and then go decap, for example Akali. And this is gonna be a big nerf for those champions, especially for Akali. So Akali's build is gonna change. You are no longer gonna go for Haunting Guise into Lichbane or Haunting Guise into decap. But instead, watch my new Akali video, which is gonna come out very soon, and I'm gonna explain the new item path in my opinion. And yeah, Akali still S tier. It doesn't matter, still S tier. Slight nerf. Because the ultimate still broken. The ultimate is still very broken. You still one shot with the ultimate. And that's a major issue. For pro players that maximize the damage with a passive Lichbane, I think that's a decent nerf. But for the average Akali player who just spams the ultimate without abusing the passive correctly, I would say it doesn't really matter. Still broken. But item build is gonna change. Liandrys Torment, same thing. So 10% to 6% for every second, 2% to 1.2 instead. Ludens Echo ability haste got buffed. Oh, really? Oh, this is a huge buff for Ziggs, Ahri. Who else goes Ludens? You could even go Ludens tier Orianna. Oh no! They are buffing poke majors. Ability haste 10 to 20. No. And AP 5 AP, it doesn't matter, but double AP ability. Oh no. Oh no. Ziggs from S tier, now SS tier competitive to SSSSSSS tier competitive. Ludens Echo Liandry, Ziggs. Maybe you don't go Liandry anymore. I think you can still go Liandry on Ziggs, it doesn't matter too much. Just for the, you use it for the burn. And not for the madness necessary. So yeah, Ludens Echo buff, oh no. Why do they buff poking mages? Poking mages are way too strong. What? Oh no. And then for the runes, Keystone Font of Life. Allied healing AP ratio from 40% to 30%, and self-healing AP ratio 20% to 10%. So actually a big nerf on Keystone, Font of Life. It's gonna nerf a lot of champions that like to run Font of Life with AP champions. Yeah, pretty big nerf. And system passive gold. Support income is lower than we would like, resulting in lower satisfaction when playing the role. We are amping up the mechanic introduced in 2.4 to nudge their income in a more equitable direction. This should help supports keep up with the gold farming allies. So, start time 5 to 4 minutes, supports get, instead of 1 gold per second, 2 gold per second. So it's a pretty good buff for supports in general. They will have a better gold income. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the patch. Biggest changes, Haunting Guise, a very big change. Ludens Echo. I think this is gonna buff poking champions so much that just rush Ludens Echo. Soul Stealer doesn't matter, Balmox doesn't matter. Solaris Chargeblade, decent nerf for this item, which was way too broken. Xin Chao won't matter, Wukong won't matter. Thresh, solid buff. I think this is gonna push him even further up. And if you're very proficient on Thresh, I think this makes him already SSS tier. He was S tier, and in the right hands, if you play aggressive, I think SSS tier now. Soraka nerfed, I would put her A tier or A minus now with this nerf. Rakan, in general, Rakan Sire combo got nerfed pretty heavily. But in general, Rakan got buffed when he's playing without Sire, so still good support pick. Master Yi, I'm not sure how strong this nerf is. The ultimate is a pretty big nerf. Wujusal, decent nerf, HP per level also. So instead of OP, he might be S minus or A plus. Khazix, solid nerf. Is he gonna be weaker? He's still S tier, still broken. Kennen, I'm not sure. Honestly, I need to try out the crit and the on-hit build more. But the Gunblade build, I tried it 2 times now. Pretty solid results. I would say Kennen, sexy buff. What tier? Maybe A plus. A plus. Maybe even... We'll see. I need to try him out more. Bet Katarina, slight nerf. Solo Q, still broken. But yeah, it's gonna affect us slightly. Gregors, slight nerf, doesn't matter. Akshan, big buff. Big. Akali, decent nerf, but it doesn't matter. She's still broken. Well, yeah, that's gonna be it for the patch 2.4. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, make sure to subscribe if you guys liked this patch review. And if you guys don't want to miss out on daily commentaries and guides, then I see you next time. And you guys activate notifications and like. Bye.
Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.